So in the world of online dating, lots of profiles say just for fun, don't want anything too serious, want to see how it goes. And the reason why that's happening is because those people, and possibly this is you as well, that's why you clicked on it, they have, and possibly you do, a deep abandonment wound. And what I'd love to do in this video is talk you through what's happening deeper behind the scenes and also give you some practical steps of how you can actually heal that, and also how working with your inner child is massively going to change how you show up on dating profiles and what it looks like when actually you're able to make a healed dating profile, and the key tips and bits and pieces that you can look for as you can spot somebody that is healing on a dating profile. So why do profiles say just for fun, want to keep it casual, want to keep it light? Those people are wearing masks. Okay. And what that's doing is that's protecting themselves from potential trauma. But what is at the heart of it is the abandonment wound. Okay. So when people are like, let's just hook up, let's just see where it's going to go, that's because they're saying, I'm not safe to love. I don't know what safe love feels like. And love always leaves me. So when we keep it really light and airy, we're actually putting out into the universe that, hey, do you know what? I'm incredibly wounded. I really have deep, deep childhood wounds and deep childhood issues. Please don't get too close to me. I'm happy to sleep with you because, why not? Everyone does that. But I don't want to go anything too deep and, oh, I don't want to talk about kids, or I'm just going to keep it very grey. Again, those things are happening because at the bottom of it, there is that whole, a abandonment wound. And it's also a case of like, if I don't ask for much, then I can't be disappointed. And what's at play here is usually there are two different attachment styles. You can have a third, but usually it's the anxiously attached person. And I'll talk you through in a second how that's working. And we also have the fearful avoidant. And then we do have the disorganized, which is a kind of a mixture of both. All right. So when you've got somebody who is anxiously attached on a dating profile, okay, massively the abandonment wound is at play there. Those are the people that are, oh my God, like he was last seen whenever, oh, he's read my message, he's not replied, overthinking, over analysing. And there are people out there who have already planned your wedding and you've only had 3 or 4 messages and they're sat there going, why hasn't he replied? And this could be you. Maybe you're looking on people's social media and you're trying to plan, you're trying to understand people. But what's really important is to understand that's coming from the inner child inside. That's your childhood trauma that is playing out in the whole anxious attachment. So that's the anxiously attached. If you are fearful avoidant or you are seeing people with fearful avoidant profiles, those are the people that are, again, keeping it very light, don't want to catch feelings, and they are the people that are fine on my own. Those people tend to be very closed books. They'll be keeping people at arm's length. They'll arrange to meet you. They might cancel at the last minute and go, oh, sorry, babe, or whatever. Okay. And again, those people are fearful avoidant. Now, the fearful avoidant, they are the people that honestly usually have had the most deepest trauma because they learned very young that love wasn't safe. And a lot of those people will play the hot and gold. A lot of those people that are fearful avoidant, they will play games with you. And again, I want you to know that everything that you're experiencing in the dating world, or if this is you, okay, if you are anxiously attached and if you are fearful avoidant, I want you to know you can heal. I was fearful avoidant for most of my life until I was 43. And luckily I met a really beautiful partner, Carly, who really helped me. And I worked with a coach called Tice Gibson, who really helped me heal my fearful avoidant attachment style. So the first practical step that I would love to give you is number 1, okay? Even if you are fearful avoidant or you are anxiously attached, number 1, stop using that label, okay? When you say that you are a fearful avoidant or you say that you are anxiously attached, the universe that you create inside of you has no choice but to show you that mirror externally outside. Okay, so by you saying that you are a fearful avoidant person, you're going to continue to attract people that are anxiously attached to you because that is your kind of like your set point. And you'll find that nothing will really change. And that's what you're going to be doing. So number 1, like I say, drop the label. The second thing is really start to look at, okay, how am I going to heal why I want just for fun, why I want to keep it light, why I want to keep it casual. That's where, for me, it really comes down to looking at what happened in our childhood. Now, I'm a great advocate and I don't believe it helps us actually recalling specific memories. If you're like myself, I was somebody that was sexually abused by my dad for many, many years, and many men did awful things to me as a child. But again, I'm on my screen here talking to you saying you can totally heal from that. But what is big to understand here is the inner child is actually the version of you that is anxiously attached and that is actually fearful avoidant. So number two, when you start doing that deep inner child work, that's when things are going to massively change for you. And your inner child is the version of you that saw everything between 0 and 9, even the stuff you don't remember. That is 4-year-old you. And I want you to know that your inner child isn't you in a photo at any given point or time. It is the collective energy and all the trauma that happened in one little tiny being at 4. Your inner child, when they are healed, is very playful, very creative, flirtatious. They are people that want to go and dance, they want to go and have fun. And your inner child only knows one thing: unconditional love. It knows joy, it knows happiness. But somebody who's got a wounded inner child, they will have the anxious attachment problems, they will have the fearful avoidant. And I want you to know that your attachment style is all formed before you're 10. But like I'm saying here on this video, what's really important to understand, you can heal that like I have. So when you start working with your inner child, that's when things are going to massively change. And that's where you see me. And I'm a fan of what we call reparenting. Reparenting is where we understand what is playing out in my life right now. How does that correlate to what I went through as a child? And what do I need to give my inner child right now that I never got back then? Now, if you are someone that is anxiously attached, you will need to be that reassuring voice to your inner child over and over. Okay, that's where things like consistency are massively going to help your inner child. And your inner child, in order to feel safe, needs to see you over and over again. And one of the things that I'm aware of in my client practice when I work with people is a lot of people are abandoning their inner child to the degree that they were abandoned when they were a child themselves. And that's where I'll say small incremental steps. So number three, when we talk about, being with our inner child, the third thing to do is go, okay, I'm going to make more of an effort to spend time with that version of me because I'm anxiously attached. And like I say, when you start showing up in the morning and at night, you have weekly meetings, you do activities, you do things with your inner child, that's going to start to make them much more safe. And when you start to spend time with your inner child, that's where your creativity is going to come from. That's where your joy, your happiness, your spontaneity will all happen because it originates in the healed version of the inner child. So if you are anxiously attached, what you can do is spend a lot more time just being with your inner child and doing activities and doing things. If you are someone that is fearful avoidant, and that is your attachment type, you will have gone through a lot of the hot and cold experience. And again, that plays out in your life. And when it comes to working with your inner child, that's where you deliver on the promises. Okay, so even if it's too much being with your inner child all the time, what is important is when you've last spent some time with them, you say, "Hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow, buddy." And you make that promise. Or simply, if you can't go every single day because you're afraid of getting too close, you've got other deep trauma that's sort of seated behind it, what you would do is you would go, okay, if you haven't been for a couple of days, you would actually push yourself and you would make a big apology when you're with your inner child, but you'd be like, hey, do you know what? I'm showing up here right here today. And that's what's really important to understand. So like I say, for me, those are the fundamental parts when it comes to, healing, because I want you to know you can heal from your anxious attachment. You can heal from your fearful avoidant attachment. And when we're using terms like, just for fun or just don't want to take it too seriously, can you take from this video today that actually, if you're putting that out, behind it is the abandonment trauma? And if you are seeing all of those profiles, then I really want you to be aware that actually that's you. Everything around you is a mirror that is always reflecting back to you. I'll pop you a video up here that I made all about the mirror and how about it all reflects back to you, everything. And then lastly, what does a healed dating profile look like? So I recently went on a dating site and I made a profile and I basically stated what I was looking for. I said that I don't want to hook up. I want to have a family with somebody, and I was really clear and straightforward. And I said things like this. I said, I'm not looking to sleep with you for at least the first 3 months. I'm looking to take you to dinner, get to know you slowly, meet for coffee. I put on my dating profile. I don't text very often. I'm not attached to my phone. I'm not on social media. And I very much do me, but I'm looking to find a companionship with somebody. Is that you? And by me putting those expectations out, that's coming from a very healed space. And that's saying, hey, that person is really confident. I think I also put on my dating profile something like, I want somebody that's done the work, that understands inner work, what it's like. And when you start seeing dating profiles like that show up, that's telling you that you're moving into that healing space. But another good one to understand is when you've got all those, you've got all those pictures and photos and stuff of people posing, they've got the father wound there, they've got validation, etc. Anyway, for me, truly, I really hope that helps you heal, and that helps you start on the track to actually changing your attachment style. Because ultimately, like I say, behind all of it, the whole just for fun, the hookup, the not wanting to take it seriously, that is the abandonment wound in disguise. And actually, the best thing you'll ever do is get off those dating sites. Heal yourself. I've spent 3 years healing myself since my last relationship. But when you heal yourself, then you can move into that healed state. And then when you're ready, you're able to put yourself out there, and you're able to attract towards you the people that you're going to spend some time with. Anyway, I hope this video helps. I hope you're taking a lot from it. What was the best bit of this video that made you go, do you know what? Cheers, Kel. Thanks ever so much. And just up here, I've got a ton of videos all around inner child and parts work that are also really going to help you. I hope this video has helped you take a lot from it. All right, cheers. Take care. Ta-da. Bye-bye.